another beautiful night for baseball at Frazier Field in Lynn, Massachusetts. Game 2 of the Northeast League Championship Series, the Big Dig Series between the Brockton Rox and the North Shore Spirit. Last night, the Rox once again demonstrated just how overpowering their bullpen is. Mike Marcasano, on only 3 days rest, threw 92 pitches through 6 innings. He had pitched extremely well, but Ed Noddle did not even hesitate in taking him out of the ball game. Tony Stutz came in, 2 scoreless innings. Connor Brooks came in, pitched the 9th, nailed down the save. Rox games have virtually become 5 or 6 inning contests. If the starting pitcher does well enough that the Rox lead after 5, the odds are looking pretty good for the Rox. So that is what they are looking for tonight from starting pitcher Greg Salvovold. Can they get 5 or 6 solid innings out of the right-hander and take a lead to the 6th inning before turning it over to their bullpen? That is what they're hoping for.
So Greg Salvovold would get the start for the Rox in Game 2. Veteran pitcher, cool customer under pressure, not overly effective in his brief stint since coming to Brockton late in the season. Greg was a high school teacher in the off-season, and classes had begun back in Minnesota shortly before the playoffs began. So if memory serves me right, and at this age sometimes it does not, Rox owner Van Schley was picking up the tab to fly Greg back and forth. Well, that hadn't seemed to work out so well in Salvy's previous start. He was rocked in the first inning of the Rox' first playoff game against New Jersey, the one they dropped 10-0. Their only postseason loss thus far. When Greg stumbled out of the blocks early in this game, it looked like he might have another long flight home.
Sepulveda is aboard with a 2-out single, and it brings up Frank Charles. Charles, a 300 hitter on the season, 7 home runs, 46 runs batted in, had 3 base hits in 4 at-bats, accounting for more than half of the Spirit's hits last night. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit pretty well to left center field. That is going to drop in for extra bases. Going to roll all the way to the wall. Sepulveda being waved home. He will score easily. Frank Charles hustles in with a double, and the North Shore Spirit have taken a 1-0 lead. Salvovold comes to the set position. Payoff pitch. Misses low and outside. He walks Muth. And now the Spirit have put 3 consecutive runners on base. With 2 outs, Sepulveda singled. Frank Charles doubled him home. And now Muth has drawn a walk. It brings up the designated hitter, Rob Fisher. Salvovold rocks and fires. Runner take off. Ground ball left side. Base hit. Coming on Arroyo. Being waved home is Charles. Here comes the throw. It will be cut off. And the Spirit now lead 2-0. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on ground ball past the diving Lewis into right field. Agramonte with a 2-out single. Shades of last inning. Agramonte was the leading base stealer by far on this Spirit squad. 19 stolen bases. However, he was caught 15 times. Spirit stole 40 bases this season during the regular season. Were caught 35 times. That is a horrendous percentage. Now Rosario with probably the strongest throwing arm amongst catchers in the league. Often takes away a running game from the opposition. Runner takes off, pitch misses outside, throw down to second base in time. Mel Rosario guns down Marcus Agramonte, and that will retire the side. Nice throw by Rosario on a good pitch on which to run for Agramonte. The Rox have had 5 base hits in this ballgame. However, they have all been singles. That has allowed Sugarman to minimize the damage. In fact, there's been no damage in the run column. The Rox have been shut out. Matos, the base runner at second. Rosario, the base runner at first. Mike Davis at the plate. He singled his first time up. A little bio on the Spirit website about Jeremy Sugarman says that he enjoys surfing in the California waters, and he plays the bass guitar in a band with his brother. All right, dude. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on a high bouncer to first base, backhanded by Reardon. Throws to the pitcher covering. Sugarman's there ahead of Davis for out number 3. Scored 3-1 on the putout, and the Rox leave some more base runners. Nestor Smith at the plate. Nestor singled in the first inning, flied out in the third. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Now the payoff pitch from Jeremy Sugarman. Swung on line drive into left field, and the Rox have another leadoff single. It's amazing that we've seen balls hit pretty well here that just seem to die in the outfield. I'm told that back in 1942, there was an exhibition game played here between Lynn and the Boston Red Sox, and Ted Williams supposedly hit a shot into the Manning Bowl, which is the football stadium out beyond center field. If that's true, that was a massive shot. I just cannot imagine anybody not only clearing the center field wall, but getting it over the Manning Bowl, which stands high out beyond center field. Maybe hit it to right center where it droops down height-wise. Still, nevertheless, quite a shot. And it's now up to Darren Blakely. Blakely 1 for 2 with a single. 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. This could score a run. A base hit. Rounding third, coming home is Smith. He will score. The throw comes into second. It is 2-1. RBI single by Darren Blakely, his second hit of the ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Salvovold. That's in there for a called strike. Muth down on strikes. Third strikeout of the ball game by Salvovold. That will bring up Carlos Sepulveda. Batting here with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Agramonte being held at first by Lewis. Rosario sets up on the outside corner. The 1-1 pitch. That's hit pretty well to left field. Retreating is Arroyo. Reaches up and makes the catch at the warning track. Arroyo had to twist his body hard to make that catch, a corkscrew-type catch by Abner Arroyo. How often does that happen in baseball where someone makes an inning-ending defensive play and then leads off the next inning? It's one of those wonderful quirks about baseball that seems to happen with a degree of regularity. Here's the 2-0 offering to Arroyo. Swung on, ground ball, right side, base hit for Arroyo. His first hit of the ball game, and the Rox have the potential tying run aboard. And it will bring up Craig Lewis. This is a big at-bat for the Rox. 2 outs, a runner at second base. Sugarman comes to the set position. Roxon fires Lewis. It's a ground ball past the third baseman, Satari. Abner Arroyo being waved home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is offline. Arroyo scores, and the Rox have tied this ball game. It is 2-2. You may have heard some screaming out in front of the press box. Mike Beck, Rox principal owner Van Schley, and assistant general manager Dave Sacchetti all whooping it up after that base hit ties the ball game. Now it is Matos looking for his first hit of the ball game. Sugarman wheels and deals. Line drive right field, base hit. Lewis being waved home. The ball skips past Sepulveda. Lewis scores. The Rox lead. Matos around second, headed for third. He arrives there safely. The Rox leading 3-2. John Kennedy is headed out of the dugout to finally take Jeremy Sugarman out of this ball game. And you have to look back and wonder if he shouldn't have been hooked just a tad earlier. But that has been the modus operandi of the North Shore Spirit this season. They tend to stay with their starting pitchers. And this time it may have cost them. They have chased Sugarman from the hill. Riccardi on in relief. Another 0-2 pitch, grounded sharply foul, and it hits Ed Notto, and he is down. Ed tried to jump out of the way. Matos calls time and picks him up, helping Ed to his feet. That one struck him on the foot. And Ed Notto takes off his cap and tips it to the crowd. I tell you what, he's going to be wearing a bruise tomorrow. He is a tough guy, and he won't come out of this thing. But right now, I can tell you Ed Notto is hurting. That hit him sharply on the foot. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Bustos. Swung on, line drive, left field, base hit for Bustos. That will score another run. It is 4-2 Rox.
Salvovold had recovered from his shaky first inning and had turned in a masterful 7 innings, surely making his students back in Minnesota quite proud. Now he handed off a 4-2 lead to closer Connor Brooks, who retired the Spirit in order in the 8th inning and then got the first 2 batters in the 9th. With Brockton now on the verge of winning Game 2, the baseball gods, with their twisted sense of humor, decided to throw yet another curveball at the Rox, this one coming straight out of left field.
Yuri Sanchez at the plate. First pitch from Brooks in there for a called strike, and the sprinklers have come on in left field, and Abner Arroyo is getting a shower. We have got 5 sprinklers that have come on in left field, and Abner Arroyo is getting doused. The count is 0-1 to Sanchez, and I don't recall ever having seen this. The streams of water have started to trickle down, but they are still pumping out quite a bit of water right now. Finally, they have turned off the sprinklers, and now Abner Arroyo playing in some puddles of water out in left field. Hopefully that will not be a factor. How bizarre was that? Brooks ready to go back to work. The 0-1 pitch to Sanchez. Swung on fly ball to left field. Sloshing toward it is Abner Arroyo. He makes the catch in the puddles in left field, and the Rox have won this ball game 4-2. What a come-from-behind victory by the Brockton Rox. 3 runs in the 8th inning to take a 4-2 lead, and they have now taken a 2-0 lead in this series. Let's see if we can get Mike Beck's attention down in front of us. Mike. Hello, Mike.
How are you? It was just great.
What a ball game, huh?
Yeah, I love seeing it go down like a 10-pin, and then, of course, Connor comes in and shuts him down. So it was a wonderful ball game. It's a magical night. You just can't script them any better. I listened to you the other night, and I was telling you when you were off the air, in this 8th and 9th inning, I was upstairs in the office. We don't allow any cigarettes up there. I had 2 beer cans and 2 cigarettes. My wife jumped me, but it was such an exciting ball game. These games matter in Brockton. And, you can see by the 70 or 80 fans, as you described it last night, that I didn't see the game. And the same number, it seems to me, maybe a few more that were here tonight. They're vociferous, they're supportive, and that pumps the club up. And when you go back to your home turf, to Campanelli, with 2 games like this after coming from behind, boy, I don't want to jinx it. We're supposed to or not. What that is. That's tough.
Well, I know that you would love to see the gate for a Friday night game. But right now, I know that the players are probably thinking about bringing out the brooms in Game 3 and getting this thing done with. They don't want to mess around and give this team more life.
Yeah, that's the one time that I fear, away from some of my compatriots. I want to get it all done tomorrow night. I mean, the only promotion and the only thing in this game that's not overrated is winning. And quicker is better. Yeah, I'm willing to forego the game. I know that. I'm sorry, Dad, wherever you are. He's thinking that's a heresy coming out of the mouth of a vet. But I'd like to just get this baby down and out.
I see the phone lines are lighting up. It's going to open them up anyway. Let's go right back to the phones. Hi, you're on the Rox Wrap.
Hey, Josh, Andrea Bates, reporting from the bus hall from the Rox game in Lynn, Massachusetts.
All right, Andrea, good to hear from you. What's the bus ride like?
Josh wants to know what the bus ride's like. Needless to say, Josh, everybody's really excited about it. I'd say that there are at least 100 fans in the stadium tonight, and it was loud, loud, loud. The best thing was the fans were spread out all over the stadium. We probably had 60 on the first base line and another 40 scattered out throughout the stadium, and I don't think Lynn knew what hit him.
It was a fun ride back to Brockton for the team as well. Ed hobbled onto the bus, obviously in some discomfort, but not enough to prevent him from giving his usual dose of razzing to bus driver Dave, the Jerry Springer lookalike. Dave, who was probably wearing the Rox jacket with which we had presented him for being such a great sport and great driver, seldom had a snappy comeback for Ed, but on this night, Dave asked Ed who hit the ball that nailed him on the foot. Ed told him that it was Bustos. Dave stunned everybody when he replied, "Way to go, Saul!" The players cracked up and chanted, "Jerry, Jerry, Jerry," as we headed back to Brockton for Game 3. Be sure to click the subscribe button to follow my wild and wacky journey with the Brockton Rox, because more episodes are on the way. Thanks for watching.